Hello friends, this is Dr. Hash from the Center of Finance and Economics. I'd like to talk about a very important point today that almost everybody avoids or doesn't know about simply because it requires some work, but it's crucial for any successful trading experience. I've had many students and I've known a lot of people in finance, and the vast majority does not use what I will be talking about today. And quite literally, it is more important than the kind of strategy that you will be using, because it is a process that will help you to gather data and correct mistakes in the short, medium, and long term. So what is it? It's simply the process of journaling your trades. Having a trading journal where you put all your trades, where you put the details of the strategies, the entry points, the exit points, the kind of strategy they're using, of course losses, wins, comments, even the way you felt the day you were making that trade, and a visual graph of the trades, of course. So all the information you can put in there is very welcome. So having a trading journal is necessary. You have to have one, but many traders do not know how to do it. So I'm gonna give you today an idea about how to do it, and I will even show you an Excel spreadsheet where you can electronically put all your trades there, and whenever you want to go back to them and analyze them, it can only help you progress. So again, if you don't do that, well, chances are you're not succeeding in trading. Okay, so I've created a very simple Excel file. Of course, I have many versions of that Excel file. I have a very sophisticated one, and I have a very simple one that all beginners can use. And let me talk about it. Now, assume I have some kind of method, strategy that I use. Most traders have 2 or 3 strategies. I do have 3 that I usually use. At some point in time, you will get a signal to buy or sell according to your strategy. And hopefully you're using a strategy, you're not doing random trading. So whenever you want to get into a strategy, of course you get into that strategy, but you have to write it down, to do it like a journal, in a journal. So let me give you an example. Assume that I get an opportunity to buy or sell a financial instrument, and my strategy tells me exactly when to enter, at which point, when to exit, with wins or with loss. That has to be very clear. Now, you can have a spreadsheet like this. So let's analyze that spreadsheet. Now, what you can have is I've created a strategy where you basically, or a journal where you basically can have up to 1,000 records. So this spreadsheet will hold up to 1,000 trades, which is a long time, especially if you're using swing trading like me. I don't do day trading because day trading does not work for me. I know that from research in finance, and I know that from experience. So I do swing trading, and 1,000 trades in swing trading, that's years of trading. Okay, so let's assume I have my signal to enter, let's say, AUD USD. This is an example. So I would have to record the date of the strategy, and I'm doing a date with days and times, okay? And then you're gonna have to name your strategy, and the way you name strategy is you go to another spreadsheet where you have a list of strategies. So I set up the spreadsheet in a way that you put your strategies here. So once you get the Excel spreadsheet, all you have to do is just change the names here. And I have up to 10 strategies: MACD, EMA, trend line, and then even strategy 6, 7, 8, whatever. And here I put the financial instruments. The spreadsheet can hold up to 100 financial instruments, like forex pairs, maybe stocks, gold, indices, etc. So you will have to choose from this list. The list will be here. And then of course you will be buying or selling. Now you go back to the main spreadsheet, which I call journal, and then the trade, you will have to decide the strategy from the list I just showed you. Okay, let me enlarge that so you can see. So you can see that the strategy is one of the ones we talked about. Okay, you will have to choose. You cannot enter anything. It is in the other spreadsheet where you enter the name of your strategies. Then comes your trade. What are you trading? And that will come from the list I just showed you as well. It could be one of the forex pairs, or it could be anything else, and there is up to 100 possible trades in this spreadsheet. Okay, usually very few traders will trade more than 100 instruments, and then it will have to be either buy or sell. So you have these three cells where the entries are pretty much decided in this variables spreadsheet. Okay, all you can do is come back here and change these names. If you don't trade forex, well, all you have to do is come here and put the names of the instruments you're trading, and here you can erase this and put just the names of your strategies. Okay, now going back to my journal, once you enter the strategy, the trade, and the buying or selling decision, you will have to enter the price, the entry price, your stop loss, and your take profit as dictated by your strategy. Okay, once you enter the trade, you have to enter this information. Now you're gonna wait until the end of the trade, and once the trade is over, you will enter the exact exit price. Now the exit price should be very close to the stop loss or take profit point that you have in your strategy, but there might have been some slippages, and the value could be either the same, slightly different, or very different. It could happen sometimes that that is a big difference, right? Now you need that for your records, and then at this point the spreadsheet, whatever is orange here, is untouchable. You cannot touch it. But what you have here is that this spreadsheet or this cell will calculate your reward to risk. It means that, of course, these are fictional numbers. These are not real numbers. Just for the purpose of showing you. Now the reward to risk, it's telling you, how much bigger is the reward compared to risk. Meaning that if you risked 1%, your reward in this case will be 9.23%, which is 9.23 higher. Okay? And then and you have to know that, and then I talk about that in other videos, is that your reward has to be at least 2 times higher than your risk if you want to have a viable strategy. Then you put your position size, and then your risk. How much are you risking in your in this trade? Never more than 2%. Okay? You're gonna put your exit date, meaning the time and date you are leaving the trade, either with a profit or loss or a break even. You're gonna put your gross profit here in dollars or whatever currency you're using. You're gonna enter here the commission and swap fees, the carry fees, if any, and then you're gonna put your net profit and loss, right? And then you can put any withdrawal or deposit you have during that day. Okay? And then here it will spit out exactly what your balance is in this cell, right? You will put here any comments you might have about the trade, something that can help you when you come back and analyze. and then you're going to take a snapshot of the trade and put it here. Very important as well. See if you can see here, this is my trade, and this will help me analyze it later. Okay? Very, very important. Now, in this table here, what you will do here is that you're going to put your initial balance. So let's say you start with $1,000, or I don't advise to start with $1,000. It's not enough. I would say at least 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 is better. Otherwise, you will be hand tied. So let's say you start with the $5,000. So your beginning balance is $5,000. And in the spreadsheet, we'll start building on that. Meaning, let me show you an example. Let's say in this trade, I somehow win, make money, right? So let's say I have a gross profit of $200, of $100. Let's make it 200, right? Let's say the swap fee is 0 for purposes. So my net profit is 200. Let's say I don't withdraw anything, I don't deposit anything. So my balance now is $5,200. It shows up automatically, right? Let's say the following day I enter another trade. Let's say I use one of my strategies here, a triangle. Actually, I use different strategies. Let's say I use another one. Let's say CAD CHF. Let's say I buy. Okay. Then I enter my entry process, my prices, my stop loss, my take profit. It will calculate my reward to risk, put my position side, how much I risk, exit date. Let's say I lose. So I lose $100. Okay. So it's about 2% of my trade, right? Let's say there is no fees. If you go overnight, more than likely you will have some fees. So I have a net loss of $100. I have my withdrawal of $0, my deposit of $0. So now I'm 5,100. Okay? This thing will show up immediately in an equity curve. Okay? So you can see the equity curve where I start in 5,000, goes up to 5,200, and it goes down to 5,100. So the curve will go up and down with all your trades. Automatically, you don't have to touch it. So you have to have a trading journal. If you don't, I guarantee that you are losing traders, because you have no way of analyzing the data if you don't put information in there. How do you know if your strategy is good? Maybe you have back tested it, but when you do it for real, you might see some new stuff, and only the journal can tell you what to do. So please go ahead and use a journal, and let me know if you need a copy of this journal. This is my free version. I will be happy to give it to you. Just let me know. I wish you all the best, and please take this seriously. People keep talking about strategies, but they leave aside the most important things like risk management, like journaling, and like psychology aside. This is one of the most important aspects of trading, so take it seriously. I wish you well and good luck with trading and everything else.